Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. We are at the Human Comedy today. We are just finishing off the 1.27 updates prior to the PSVR 2 updates, and we were going to get some racing in. So this is an hour-long race at the Redbull ring in the Human Comedy. This is a GR3 race of 60 minutes. We're going to be starting 15th on the grid. All available racing tyres plus intermediates and wets. And what we do know is that it's going to rain. What car are we going to choose today? Well, we're on the AMG GT311. It's the SLS. We're going to start in the race on softs. And we're going to be attempting to go as quickly as we can. Now, this is a bopped race. Not a lot you can change. As you can see, everything's set and standard. We just take what is given to us and we go with it. It's 541 brake horsepower, and I know it's a bit of a fuel drinker, but what we're going to do is we're just going to power it out and we're just going to drive it as fast as we can and try and get in before the rain. So then folks, we've done this race before. As you know, we're trying it with a different car every time. We've previously put in 37 laps, and as you can see on our friends ranking board, we're up behind Alex, who's an extremely fast racer when he wants to be on a good day using the 911 RSR. Iron Man's up there using the BRZ GT300. We used the 911 last time out. JB's up there with the 911, Mr. Maguire, all on 37 laps, and that's where we want to target. Where are the top 10 stars? They're on 38. So if we can make 38 laps, and there's a variety of cars, look, it's all across the board. You can prick any one of these and you can make this race work. Don't be scared of it. Settings for today's race. Assists will be traction control 1, default ABS. We're on a manual transmission, everything else is off. And for the controller settings, we are using open button configuration, no modifications, controller sensitivity 0, torque feedback 5, sensitivity on the feedback 5. The game is on hard, because we prefer to race against the AI on hard because they drive a more sensible, more straightforward race. You've got more chance of winning the race on hard because they're not dumb and they're not stupid, and you're going to enjoy the game more. So let's dive straight into this one, folks, and we'll give you the usual commentary as we go. As we enter the race, we're just going to flick the up to the fuel consumption. Let's just go to the rain map, and there it is, set on the right setting. Go around the outside on turn 1. Try not to stray too far up. There are 3 or 4 corners you have to be very cautious of on this circuit for getting time penalties. This one coming up here, if you stray too far to the left too deep, you'll cross over that white line at the end and you'll get a penalty for going too wide on entry. Fuel consumption looks like we're going to get 9 laps, folks. I don't think we're going to get much better. So 2 stints will take us to 18 laps, when approximately that's when the rain is going to be on the prowls. We've got to watch out for the rain. And we're going to try 2 stints on softs to get us to the rain. And then we're going to do wets for as long as they'll last. And I think we might be able to use the same set of wets all the way to the end of the race. And we'll end up on a 3-stopper, one hopes. We'll use less fuel in the rain, and hopefully we can stretch it out. If we can get anywhere near the 38 laps, I'll be well impressed. This car is fast enough to do it in the dry. Cheeky little overtaking manoeuvre there. So we started in 15th place, we're up to 10th already at the end of the first lap. It'll be nice if we can start to put some really stonking fast laps in. Go around the outside of the Viper. Tuck the back end of the Beamer, which wasn't good for us, that. Wonder if we'll get a penalty there as we flicked over the curve. I think we just survived that. That's not too bad. 15 seconds behind the leader. Get wide down here on entry and get into first, get into that apex. Back on the gas nice and early. Up behind Mr. Hizal. We will use his slipstream to our benefit. Let's get past him. looking to brake down here. The sun's not helping us here. Braking on the 100 flag, use the red and white curbs all the way down to the braking point, go across the apex, run out as wide as you can, push on. This corner's a tricky one, this next one braking just before the 50, down to third, use second to control the front of the car, but back up to third and drive out onto the curbs, run all the way down the curbs, down to third, pull the nose in, back on the gas early, run out to use the curbs on the right hand side, back across the track and up the hill, use as much as the road as you can, but don't make it too long, braking just before the 50, down to third, get the front of the car in, run out, don't run too wide here. If you keep 2 wheels on the red and white, you're absolutely fine, and the same there, up to 6th place then behind Mr. Miazano. Mr. Beauvoir currently holds the fastest lap with a 1:37.92. We keep arriving at AR cars at the critical point of the corner. Look how they pull away. This is part of the chasing them, not racing them mantra that I always spill the beans about. If you touch them, they know you're there and they just start to go faster. But when we approach them and get them on the apex of the bends, it just becomes an infuriation. They start to just pull away from you. You've got to chase them down, you've got to get faster. We're 15.7 seconds behind the leader, we're on softs. These guys are mainly going to be running mediums, and you can tell that by, we just took a tap there from Mr. Yamanaka. Oh, is it Mr. Fraga? It was Mr. Fraga, sorry. Didn't miss to call you there, Mr. Yamanaka. That wasn't my intention. I misspoke. We'll pick that up after the race. However, on we go. I'm looking now to start putting some real serious hot laps in. We've got to get that fastest lap because we've got to chase Beauvoir down. We've got to either make him burn his fuel or burn his tyres, one of the two. We're going to be burning fuel. This is one of the fastest consuming cars there is. My expectation is, and there's the fastest lap. We're just meeting these guys again on the apex of these corners. Going to come back, undercut them. Here we go. Get past Mr. Lopez. It gives me a touch for the sake of it, you dirty swine. He really tried that. He wasn't impressed at us giving his teammate a bit of a dink, was he? Purple section up behind Mr. Gallo, who is currently very, very quick in this week's time trial down at Daytona Road Course. In the NSX, and of course, look what he's driving. The NSX. That says quite a lot, doesn't it? See if we can dispatch Mr. Gallo without too much fuss. Don't really like the idea of overtaking down the inside into this corner, but we're going to get him. Second gear will just control the front end. We won't touch him or slide him off. Up to third we should have done, not fourth. It won't be particularly fast, but we've got the fastest lap of 1:31.110, which makes us feel rather comfortable. I want to get that down into the 129. It'd be great if we can get a 28, and we need to do that before the rain, so let's concentrate on doing that now and try and avoid any penalties, because one thing with going fast, you're going to start to run wider at the entrance to the corners and you're going to run wider at the exit of the corners. That wasn't bad, that was a 1:33. See if we can keep that in third and run it hard. There we go. See if we can get a purple sector at the top of the hill. We're in second place, 12 seconds now behind Beauvoir. Let's see how we can push on and get him. 0.6 inside our previous best for that part of the circuit. Let's push on, straight line as best we can down here. We're going to run the car down the red and white curbs for this braking zone on the 110. Pull the car back in, 2 tyres on the grass, run it as wide as you can, push on hard. We're going to brake down a third gear for this corner here, just as wide as we can, braking on the 50s, get the car back moving, back into up into third, and just push on down to third for this corner. There we go, we're 1.136 up, So there's a possibility of a 38 here. See if we can do it. A 138 will really knock the sail out of Beauvoir. Run the car onto the red and white. That's the way. We've probably just lost a little bit too much there. Using all that sliding. The tyres will be fine with that. A 128.993. That's great. That's going to send a message down the pit lane. And now we can start to make progress and chase him down. We've got what, 4.6 left. 4.6 laps of fuel. 4.5. I think we're only going to get 4 more in. So 4 more including this lap, which will put us on 9 laps. We ran a little bit wide there. Need to get Beauvoir down under 10 seconds over this next lap. Then we need to start taking 2 seconds out of him every lap. And then we're gonna, looks like we're only gonna get 9 laps if I'm counting correctly. So if you do it on one hand, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 5. So we've only got 4 left, so it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're coming at the end of lap 9, and with that we're going to have to try and undercut him, so we're going to have to put some exceptional laps in now. This one doesn't feel very quick, possibly in the 130s. Let's see if we can tighten this end of the circuit up to finish it well. Brake just before the 50s, third gear to pull the nose in, get 2 wheels on the grass, run it out to the red and whites. Back on the brakes, third gear across the curb, run it out to the red and whites. Run the gears long. We might be lucky, you know, we might get that 10th lap. Just looking at the fuel there, knowing that it's a shorter run into the pit lane. What was that? That was a 129.4, so that was another sub 130 lap. He's down to 8.8 seconds. We're doing tremendously well considering. Tyres looking okay. They're going to last this sector out. They're going to last this session. He's back up to 9, so we're losing time in that corner back there. Let's just push on. We're 15 seconds ahead of Mr. Gallo in 3rd place, so we've shown him a clean pair of heels. Just short shifted through that corner to try and check the slide. Braking on the 50. On those two nice little black slugs have appeared on the way into the corner. That really does distinctively show the line. And then we're going to push on to the end of this lap. We're almost in, we're just over 10 minutes gone of the race. And these are really nice, quite quick laps here at the Redbull ring. Under a 1:30 lap. Then we've got to account for the stops for the pit stops here. It's a short pit lane. Down to 7 seconds now for Beauvoir. We went a bit deep there, back up to 2nd. There he is, got visuals on him now, we can see him. And we can also see the car in front of him, so we're very quickly going to be lapping them. 2.6 laps of fuel left. Let's just focus then on getting this lap and the next one done, then we'll pit accordingly. This is another one of those races where there's a likelihood I'll forget to pit, so we just need to make sure we concentrate and are not blathering too much with the commentary. Sky's looking good, don't potentially see any rain about anywhere. The helicopter's still up in the air. When that rain comes, the helicopter will be disappearing. That'll be a good insight into when the rain's coming. Clear, beautiful sky. See the snow on the mountains are over there in the distance. Beauvoir, he's managed to just get down. Well, we've got him down to 6 seconds. We're doing well here. See if we can clean it up. We've done 2 consecutive 29s, which is quite fast. For me, anyway. A fat, old, balding, slow guy. I'm not balding, but receding, fat and old, definitely. Car, and I was probably a bit narrow there, could widen the entry up, I think. You see the line now that the cars are taking. See if we can put in another 129, that'll be good. Just outside of 130. Beauvoir's just starting to go past the back end, the back markers. We lost the back end there. We're on our last lap then, so I still reckon we could get that 10th in, you know. That probably won't be a bad thing, that 10th lap. We'll see how we're doing. I thought that was going to be Brady, but it was whatever his name was, G-O-N-O-I. How are we going to say that? Interesting. Should have known that as a commentator prior to any race. But here we go. Genoy. Genois. Didn't see his nationality. I need to pick up on that. I'm going in this lap. I'm not going to stretch it. If we go in this lap, we're going to have to undercut him then. We've got no red fuel warning. There's 1.2 left. We've still got good tyres. I'm going for this, folks. I'm actually going to change my plan. There's 1.1. We've got enough fuel to get round. Let's see if we can overtake him before the pits. Try and just knock his confidence a little bit. Try and put a bit of pressure on. Try and put some pressure on, then go to the pits. See if we can undercut him. Let's see if we can use some the old race tactics. See how he's just gone away from us there on the acceleration as he goes past Bishop. We might have to just slipstream Bishop here a bit, slingshot into this braking zone, braking just before the 100. He's coming back up our inside, but we've beat him there. So Beauvoir knows he's here. We're here. He's gone away like a rabbit out of hat. Look at him go. He's only 1.8 seconds ahead of us. He gets good acceleration at that corner, doesn't he? This is an extremely fast car. Can we see what car he's in? I haven't really got close enough. Is he in the RSR? He's in a Mercedes. He's a teammate, isn't he? He's in the GTR. AMG GTR. Well, we're going to the pit lanes this time round, so that's lap 10 done. 0.2 of fuel left. We're going to see if we can brake into this corner. And then away to the pit lane. We took the lead on the track there in first place. We're going to take softs again. And we're going to take a full tank of gas. We did quite well to get the 10th lap in there. Just under 15 minutes gone. Take the fuel. We're 31 seconds ahead when we came past into the pits for Gallo. So we've just got to see how long this pit stop takes. And where's the pit stop duration? It's up there. Just 15 seconds. Oh, 40 seconds of pit stop time. So there's a chance we could be behind Gallo here. We're just 3 seconds ahead. There he is. He's come round the corner. We see him in the mirror. Beauvoir is 32 seconds ahead. So this is the race on now. If we can get out of the pits before Beauvoir, and then we've got to look to the heavens for the rain. So we're going to chip to the rain screen, and I missed a gear. We've tipped to the rain screen, and we're going to chug on down here. Second gear into this corner. While we've got it on the screen, let's have a quick review of the first stint then. Fastest lap of the race to the minute, a 1:28.993. We made it from 15th on the grid to first place. And by first place, I mean we took first place by position on the track in the pit lane. We never actually overtook Beauvoir, so that's a bit of a risk. Yeah, Beauvoir's in, look, 2% of fuel he's got on his mediums. Just tried to distract my attention from the focus of the race by just giving a quick review, see where we are. He's British, so it'd be Gonoy. Jay Gonoy. I didn't realise he was British. Oh, there we go. How did we do? We're out ahead. There he is. We've just made him out the pit lane. So that was an absolute flyer. We don't know what our in and out laps were, but they were a combination of a 143 and a 148. We know he has exceptional grip out of this corner and he accelerates really well. So we'll let him go if he wants to go. He's on our back door. He's going to come up our outside, but we're going to compromise him then by braking on the 100. Force him wide if we have to. Just use a bit of racecraft there to give him what he wanted. He wanted to attempt the lead, but he had to take us the long way round. We weren't going to give him the opportunity of the inside line, which is just how it should be. We did kind of blocked him with the outside front wing, but there we go. So we're now racing the rain. We've got the rain gauge on, and somewhere down there we're going to start to see the rain. My estimation, it will come from the bottom right hand corner. The clouds are still clear and there's no clouds in the sky. The sky is still clear and bright. Up onto the red and white. Just have to be careful with that, folks. You can't stray too far over these curbs. So a 129.932, so we're straight back on the pressure, full tank of gas. The rest of the field are going in now. Mr. Gallo takes to the pit. Beauvoir, I think we've broken him. He's now falling back 1.55 seconds behind. We're coming up against Mr. Bishop. He is gonna, well, if we don't outbrake ourselves and brake too deep. If we'd have broken just a fraction early, we could have probably taken the inside line and blown past him. But he's nicely going to give us the racing line. Thank you, Mr. Bishop. Cheers. And as we go into the braking area again on the 100, use the red and white curbs to brake in a straight line and dance across the corner. Gallo's filled up with fuel now and he's heading out the pits. We're 2.2 seconds ahead of Mr. Beauvoir. Now, as I say, we are racing the rain, and I think I can see it in the bottom right hand corner. I think it's just appearing there. It's going to slowly make its way across the rain radar, the weather radar in the bottom of the map. Yeah, it's definitely rain in the bottom right hand corner. There's the odd cloud in the sky, you can see it over there. Oh, I turned in there and the front of the car just moved with it. That's great downforce. There we are, charging to the line. See if we can put in another 129. There it is, a 129.5, so we're getting faster. See if we can put consistent 29s in. If we don't outbrake ourselves at the top of the corner. 911 RSR in front of us. Braking just before the 100. There we go, that's better. That's to the apex and on the gas on the way out first. Mr. Yamanaka and Mr. Lopez have gone to the pits. We're 7 seconds now ahead of Beauvoir. I'd like to dispatch this RSR, Mr. Salgado. See if we can. He looks to be the same country as Mr. Portilla. Is it Chilean rather than anything else? That flag? Little geography test for people there. See if I've got it right. Probably wrong. Let's go for it. Push on. 6.5 seconds ahead of Beauvoir. 38 minutes of the race gone. In front of us is who? Is that the BMW again that we came and had a tap on the back door of earlier? It looks to be. Another 129.6, so just a little bit slower than previous lap. Whoa, we were well wide there. I wonder if we're in trouble. We shouldn't have strayed off the red and white. Braking on the 100. Mr. Exposito in the Aston. Mr. Kawakami next in the Lexus RCF. Lovely looking car, great paint job. Mr. Fraga's gone in the pits. He went very long. And that rain is now definitely coming. We're on lap 15. We need to get maybe 4 more laps in. Come on, Mr. Kawakami. It looked like relatively light rain though, so I don't think we need to worry at all about just how much it is going to rain, because I don't think that's going to force us to pit. It's just the light blue stuff, which is the first level of rain, and of course we know slicks are the dominant tyre until we're at the first line, or the second line from the first line from the bottom of the rain indicator, just beneath my image here, underneath me, just down there, So the clouds are now building above. There's a greyness to the air, you can feel it. Feels a bit overcast and muggy. It's Mr. Portilla that that gentleman is the same nation as. Same flag as Mr. Rubilar as well. What nation is that then, folks? Mr. Solis putting this, showing that he can slide a car. 9:42 ahead of Beauvoir. Coming down to the braking zone, bang it in on the 100, put the tyres on that red and white, clip the apex, slide it round a little bit. You've got plenty of tyres to play with. These slicks are just going to keep going until the end of this session. We're not going to kill them, I can promise you. These tyres will do far many than the 9 or 10 that we can do in this car. So the rain is about to start. It's getting really grey. I think the helicopter's gone already. I can't see him about. Mr. Cookabun, we're about to lap him. Shall we do him around the outside for fun? There we go. Don't slide too far. Now that it's raining, we've just got to be a bit cautious of sliding the car, because you could end up off the track. A 30-40, a 30-34, so that's 2 laps in the 30s, but the temperature has been dropping over the last couple of laps with the rain coming. Helicopter's still there he is, so won't be long before he's gone. He won't be able to follow the race from the air, one would have thought. Low cloud will come in, which is pretty common in these Austrian mountains. Here at the Redbull ring, 15 seconds ahead now. How are we looking for fuel? 3.7 laps, so we're going to get in. We're probably going to get to lap 20 if we can beat any change in rain. That's the question. So let's flick back to the rain radar, and there you can see it from the bottom right hand corner. You can see a potential change in rain. Now it depends whether we can get south of that before it comes through. If it passes over us to the north, we'll be good. I'm going to go, oh, I'm not going to be able to go wide from this. Mr. Hazel, come on, move. Oh, Jesus, man, blue flags. I still know it's my job to overtake you rather than you get out of my way. You just have to not make it hard for me. And today you made it hard, my friend. Let's go, 15 seconds ahead. Definitely started raining. Oh, there's a gap in the rain below us. Look at that in the rain radar. There's a right bug. I'm just going to brake that smidgen earlier than normal because of this rain, but there's nothing on the rain radar, so I shouldn't actually compensate for it. Put in a 1:31 that last lap, but we did get stuck behind Hazel, so can be expected. What I have noticed when we run these races, chaps and chapesses, there's a tendency that as you change cars, the actual contestants you race with actually change as well. So a couple of the names, a couple of the races we're around aren't the usual ones, so there's a few missing, but that could also be previous updates. So as we've had an update, they've changed the races in the game, added new talent. Because not forgetting, some of these AI racers were named, they are named after very, very good drivers. People who have done the testing, people who have been part of the game. People who are trusted friends of the GT franchise. Mr. Miazano, I've just met you on the Apex again. Little tap up your bottom there just to get you out of the way. And there it is, there's the really thick band of rain coming through. We need to put a couple of laps in now and get in before that rain has an effect. We're on lap 19, where are we going to be? Are we going to get 2 laps in, I wonder? Or are we just going to get 1 in? We need to make the call before that rain starts to happen. Not forgetting we're going to be stationary for 40 seconds, which is half a lap. We're 18 seconds ahead of Mr. Beauvoir, so there's an opportunity for Beauvoir to be some 20 seconds ahead as we come out of the pits. Really wide there. Here's that beamer that got in our way earlier. It was Mr. Rubilar of Rubilar and Friends. I think I'm going to pit this time, folks. Looking at the rain radar, going to try and sneak up the inside. There we go. I actually have enough fuel to get round, but I don't want to beat that. I don't want to be subject to that rain, so I'm going in now, try and make the call before it absolutely spanks it down. I'd rather be on the wet tyres. There it is, we're going to wets, full wets. We think it's going to be a trick, and we're in before 30 minutes. So that's 19 laps, times that by 2, that's 38 laps, folks. We had 14% of fuel, so we definitely had another lap in it. I just don't think we were going to beat the rain. So, full tank of fuel. We're down a second already, so Beauvoir's gone past us. Gallo is some 1 minute behind, so we're definitely going to come out in second place. We just see how we're going to go. So now it's definitely raining. We're on the wet tyres already. See if we can get out of the pits without spinning it. It would have been nice if they'd have put us into second gear. We're into the thick heavy rain, so already inters are the preferred tyre. If you look at the rain radar, the rain gauge on the left hand side of my screen, going to break before the 100. We're sliding into that corner, and there's green patches in this rain that we're expecting, so it's absolutely coming down with stair rods. It's intense. 16 seconds ahead is Beauvoir. All of these guys are on, and it doesn't look like Beauvoir's pitted. He's gone again. Third and fourth place are actually in the pits, but they were in the pits behind us, were they? That's correct. Calder on here, he's struggling, I need to go past him. So everybody's pitted a lap early. Beauvoir's had to go longer, he's 15 seconds behind, we're 15 seconds behind him. Go round the outside of Cookabun, he's struggling, so Beauvoir's in now. We just have to make it round here, because this is intense rain. It's coming round to wets being the preferred tyre. We're going to take the lead of the race as we go past his pit box, and Beauvoir has yet to start refueling. And we're sliding in this wet. The other guys are coming out of the pit lane now. And we're properly into the rain. So we've got a couple of choices we need to make. Beauvoir's gone to intermediates. That's got to be a mistake. Oh my lordy, why would he have chosen inters? This is... Even though you can see the actual rain hasn't got to the required depth. It is at this point though. Wets are the preferred tyre now. These laps are going to be that little bit slower now, aren't they? And we don't know how long these wets are going to be. Oh, we're sliding. We don't know how long it's going to be that this rain is going to come in. So we've just got to try and short shift our way. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a bit slippy sloppy, wasn't it? And it is here. Try and just negotiate our way past these other competitors. 16 seconds ahead of Boubois. He's on inters and he might not be enjoying this. Lopez has gone in. Oh, they all went to inters. Oh my lord. Pit lane had a nightmare. It was only us that chose the wets. So they're all going in again. So that'll help our cause, won't it? They're only going to go in though for tyres and just a splash and dash. So it should only be 20 seconds with a mere 5 seconds stationary, you'd expect. Gonna try and stay off the curbs, not try and hit them so much. Boubois gone in as well, making all the difference to the race. The Bishop, do not move. We know we've got time on these guys now, so we can just push on and just keep running, keep rolling. Look at that, 17 seconds, 1 minute 47 seconds for our lap. Keep going, the conditions have really gone bad. We can't even see the mountains. The helicopters had to go in because it's just horrifically bad. And we've got spots of yellow as well, so there's torrential rain going down. The guys are all over the shop. Mr. Exposito trying to find a dry line. Oh, and we just flicked right there. I don't know what happened there. Let's get it back on the track and let's just make progress. Those guys are unlapping themselves. That was unprofessional. Oh, what's going on here? Thankfully we didn't really hit anything. We were able to get that back together. These guys have been lapped, so we need to just make progress. They'll be taking the blue flag. They don't really need that kind of mistake. Braking on the old curbs isn't the best thing to do. I don't know where we're going to sit in terms of 37 or 38 laps now. We really need this rain to start disappearing. We need it to start blowing over and the blue sky to start coming, but it looks like we've got it there, look. Out to the east. And there's a helicopter over there in the cloud where there's sunshine, so he's covering the bottom corner of the track now. He's flying. Oh, and there's the end of the rain coming, look. We should get a little twitch at the back end here. We didn't, we're alright. So when that rain ends, we've got to run these tyres to a point where we know. What we know is with this track is the pit exit is absolutely filthy wet after the rain. So we've got to run this as long as we can, knowing that the wets are going to be here for a while. Oh, we've lost that. Oh, keep it on the track. Concentrating. I was looking at the blue lights on the back of his vehicle. They're absolutely stunning, aren't they? He's going to make way for us to take the line. Thank you, sir. Beep, beep. 33 seconds ahead of Boubois then. we're not 50 seconds ahead, which we should be, some 15 seconds to our disadvantage because of that off. But let's just get it behind us and move on. 22 minutes left of the race. We should be able to do this with one pit stop then. One pit stop to go. It's just whether these wets are going to be the tyres that we're going to run to the end of the race, I don't know. The helicopter's back above us, look, he's covering this part of the track. We're on the telly now, one would expect. There won't be any more chances to put fastest laps in. But we are running faster laps now, that 158 than a 149, but no faster than that out lap. Try and keep it in check. Interesting rain anomaly occurring now. We're in the middle of a green patch, which is intensely heavy rain, only half of what it can be though. What we have to be and try and be aware of is that the intermediates are now the tyre of choice. We've not used our full account of fuel here, so we're doing okay. We'll be able to run this stint that little bit longer, even though we're making it hard for ourselves by braking on the curve. We shouldn't be that wide. So you can see the rain there. We've got a distinctive bank of blue, light blue, like an aquamarine, and then in the middle. But at the bottom of the rain radar, behind the trailing edge of that bank of rain, we're getting a longer, thinner bank of rain. So that's going to keep the track wet. So there's a chance we might not want to turn off these wets just yet. It will keep the track very wet for much longer. So we only need to do 12 more laps. We don't need to be sliding off the track, and that's what happens when you brake on the curbs. Don't do it, folks. Just say no to curbs. And that was my fault from just not concentrating. This whole commentary thing just gets to me occasionally. Trying to do too much. Here we go. This won't be the perfect race, that much I know now. That's two major issues. A twist at the back end there. We are going to be staying in the rain if we're looking at that rain radar. Starting to look for a dry line to appear, something that will give us an indicator of where we're going. There's one through that corner, you can see it, and there's one appearing down the straight now. Yeah, the rain is definitely falling away. Inters are going to be the tyre of choice soon, and they're all going to be going in for inters. We're not going to stray off this dry line now. We're not going to hit the curbs. We're going to do our job professionally. We're out of the rain, so just to the south of us there's rain, but we're out of it. We're hoping to see blue sky and the clouds clearing. Hopefully we'll be away from all this spray and we'll start to pick up some laps. So Rubilar's the first one to go in. He's going to change off. Beauvoir's gone in behind us, some 35, almost 36 seconds behind. We're just going to have to manage to see how he's going to perform with slicks on. What I know is it's going to, well, he's not going to go to slicks, he's going to go to inters, isn't he? You would expect. Or is he going to try and jump it? I would like to try and run as long as we can, and if this rain packs up and it doesn't stay with us, and we can ultimately leapfrog a pit stop and go straight. He's gone to mediums, so he's done it. He's taken a gamble. He's a minute and 5 behind us, so we've definitely got a pit stop in hand, unless he's going to catch us like an absolute train. If he comes at us like a steam train, we've got to make the choice. And there's Ganoy, he's gone in. We're going to start to tank it now. 1 minute 14 seconds ahead of Beauvoir. Lopez has gone to the pits. We've just got to compensate for that braking distance. Solis is coming out the pits there. Spray everywhere. There's still dark clouds above us. Let's push on. Just brake before the 100. Has Bishop put slicks on, I wonder? Lopez has gone to softs. And he's pulled out with 85% of fuel. Somebody there on the right hand side, Mr. Bishop on the right hand side of the track there, just cooling his wets off. I think we're going to do the right thing here by running the wets to as long as we can. We've got the lap time down to the 40s. Somebody's gone to Inters. I didn't see who that was. Was that Fragger that went to Inters? It'd be just like him. Goes straight. He didn't go straight in, he went the conservative route. I had to panic brake there because I didn't know what these two were doing. And I've left the circuit, and that's me with a penalty, I would suggest. I did brake to see if I would get away with that by just slowing down and running off on the water, and we did. We seem to have got away with that. That's fine. So back into the 140s. We need to knock another 10 seconds off these lap times, because that's definitely not a 38 lapper we're doing now. We're on lap 28, so we've only got to go 9 more laps in 15 minutes. There's a chance we can do that, but we'd have to pit, and we'd have to pick for a better tyre. I think the rain's gone in entirety. Three and a half laps of fuel. We'll just have to see where we are. He's still saying Inters are actually the tyre of choice on this part of the track. There is a bit of water everywhere, look. I still think we're running this. I've just had somebody ask what am I doing? And I can't really stop and tell them. But they'll know where I am, they'll know what I'm doing. So where am I? 14, just under 15 minutes to go, so that's a full stint. I just want to take a couple more laps where I can, and just try and do it till we go straight to softs, and try and get as many laps in as we can on softs. But at the minute, the tyre of choice is the Inter. I know we're on wet, so that's not an advantage to us, but you can see the real dry line. But as you come out the pit lane there, it is extremely wet, and these wets are not worn at all. So let's see if we can just push on a little bit with these. We've got a queue of cars in front of us in the dry line. I'm going to see if I can just... Oh, we had to use Mr. Miyazawa there as brakes. That was never intentional. I looked up on the wet line, which was bad. I've got damage at the front end, which will cause me to wash out in this corner. This is where you need front end downforce. We haven't got a time to indicate how far we are ahead of Beauvoir, so I need to know if I'm going to be ahead. If I pit and come out, it's going to be roughly 40 seconds. Still got Inters as the tyre of choice at the moment. I'm going to run this all the way along. I'm going to go a further 2 laps. Miazano's pulled away from us, so he is actually going quicker. But I don't think we need all the fuel when we pit stop. That's 30 laps done. Oh, that's just unfortunate. I think we're going to get a penalty there. Oh, Miazano's had to pull up. They're all slowing down. I don't know what's going on there. Somebody's had to pull over. Don't know whether somebody was out of fuel or had suffered a mechanical failure. We've got no timing back to Wilk. Beauvoir's lost his place. So Wilk's overtaken Beauvoir. There's all sorts going on here. I'm going to brake just before the 100 after failing to stop in time at this corner last time. These tyres are doing tremendously well considering they're wet. I know we're running slower laps, but it's got to be faster than being in a ditch somewhere. So Rubilar's going in, and there's another car off there. That's Cookabun, and that's what I'm afraid of, folks. I don't want to be sliding off on the inters just yet, or on the slicks just yet, so I'm going to do one more lap and then go in, which ties in with my fuel stats. I wonder if we should take inters rather than the slicks. Question in my head. If we were going to do inters, we'd have done it 3 laps ago. Rubilar coming out of the pits now. We still haven't got a time back to the car in second place. Rubilar taking the wide line round there, but I think it's because he knows we're behind him. He was trying to give us room. So what are we doing, folks? What tyre are we going to take? Looking at the rain radar on the left hand side, the depth gauge there, I think I'm going to be taking slicks. Need to be just cautious of where we go. There's not that much depth of rain now. No rain round this corner at all unless we touch the curbs, and it's going to dry out all the way to the end. So we're going in, we're taking soft tyres. We've just got to stay on the racing line. We'll be fine on the slicks unless we have a problem coming out of pit lane, and I'll throw my steering wheel across the room. I really will. So we're going in. Look at the amount of wet on the old pit lane there. Look at it. It's almost full. Slicks required down that pit lane. We're taking softs. Is that the mistake? Is that the mistake we're going to make? Nine minutes 27. 31 laps. So to get 37 we need 6 laps. That's going to take 9 minutes. It'll take 9 minutes for us to cross the line. Oh, I don't know. It looks like they've put inters on. Let's get that fuel out. Let's see if we can get out of the pit lane with 9 minutes to go. The fuel's in, and we're gone. I've took all the fuel. I didn't need to take all the fuel. That is a mistake, because we only needed 6 laps. We're going to be extremely wet down here. We've got to be extremely cautious. I'm not going to throttle until I get to the racing line. There it is. Now we're going to start to put in some cranking laps. We're 2:03 ahead of Beauvoir. He's got back in front of Wilk again. Going to brake just on the 100. Just pumping the brakes to make sure we got it right. We need to keep the heat in these tyres. We need to take a narrow racing line here. I don't think we're going to do this, folks. I don't think we're going to get the 37th lap. I think I've been overly cautious. all we're going to try and do now is secure the win. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That was terrible. Yeah, we just got to secure the win, folks. That was my fear. We should have gone into 3 laps ago. That was a mistake on our part. 137 ahead. Oh, that's definitely thrown lap 38 and 37 out the window. I just got on the curb and I didn't need to get on the curb. The curbs are wet, got to stay off them. That was a definite mistake on my part. Come on, let's get on this drying track and let's go. So that's 4th mistake we've made. The 3rd mistake being taking too much fuel. We could have gone well early out the pits there. We only needed 6 laps and I took 9. I suppose the extra weight will help at this point. Wilk's gone to the pits. We lost 40 seconds with that incident. That was shocking. Come on. You can do better than that. But I'm not going to quit out and start again, folks, just to do that better. I'm going to chalk that one up to experience. Couldn't get that to slow down then. Let's see where we go. Here's the corner where the incident. Stay off that curb. We don't see the disaster there apart from the fact that the out lap was a 2:13, which says it all. The in lap was a 1:52. In laps on a dry day and out laps are 1:37, 1:40 kind of time zones. Don't really need to dwell on that, and we shouldn't be dwelling on it. We should be just putting those incidents behind us and getting on with it. 33 laps, 5 laps to go. 1 minute and 7 seconds ahead. Mr. Solis just was closing our entrance down there as we approached him. That was a little unfair of him to just squeeze us on the outside line. See if we can get lap 36 in, shall we? My word, this car braked down to first gear very quickly then. The grip was exceptional. I would have to keep lapping the guy that I can't say his name of. Mr. Genoy, or Genoy. Genoy, I'm going to go for. Oi, Genoy, get out of the way. Lap times are shocking, 1:34s. Some 5 seconds off our possible best. Genoy's lost it. I've lost it, trying to get out of his way, and I've shot down pit lane. Unnecessary pit stop. Nothing I can do about that. We don't change. We don't refuel. I just want to drive through. That was absolutely shocking. That was avoiding action that I had to take, which just cements the problem. What are we going to do? Are we just going to drive through, or is it going to make us pit and we don't change and just go? No, we stop stationary and away we go. It's just a drive through. Because I was giving Genoy abuse, he lost it. Can you believe it, folks? Need to be careful coming out the pit lane. See how much it tweaked the back end. That 1:10 is not going to be 1:10. That's going to be round about 35, 45 seconds, I'd say, and the pressure's on. This car is stopping extremely quickly now. So forced into an unnecessary pit stop by a spinning car, and we didn't want to T-bone him. Seconds, 52, it's falling away. I don't believe we're in trouble unless we have another an incident. It's all exciting stuff here. So the personal target of setting a personal best is out the window, folks. We need to be concentrating now on just winning this race, and if this is the first time you've been watching me doing these... Oh, it's gone again! Oh no! I can honestly tell you, I don't know what's happening there. That must be back tyres on the curbs. Oh, this is a shocker. 49 seconds in the lead, lap 35, 5th pit stop of the race. This is just unprecedented stuff. It's all going horribly wrong for the race leader. Horribly wrong. It's not a demonstration of skill, this. It's a demonstration of pit stop practice. 1 minute 35. So the way this is going, this will be the last lap on 36. And we got a track limits penalty. So if anything, with 1 minute 22 going, we are not going to get the 37th lap. But we would have got it with ease. We'd have done 2 unnecessary pit stops. That's 40 seconds. If I'd have not given up on the 38th and we'd have kept pushing, we could have had 38 laps with this car. You know what that means, folks? You know what that means? I might just give this another bash. How hard can it be? What's the worst that can happen? We're being full. We've got 35 seconds. "26 seconds. Do we think we can get across the line for that to be 37 laps? We're just going to get overtaken and nerfed and bumped. That's not fair. Come on, leave me be. Everything's conspiring against me. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We made 37 laps, folks. We did it. 37 laps equals my personal best. And it just goes, that's such a sight. Oh my. That would have been well within our grasp, wouldn't it? So, I wonder if it's worth just another crack at that. All the drama there at the end. 26 seconds ahead of Boubois, who's now finished the race. Nobody else made it to lap 37. We could have gone to Inters much earlier. See how difficult it is to control the car though in these conditions. It's stopping so fast in certain sections of the track because of the mixed variable wetness, dampness, moistness. Do like that word, moist. But with that being the case, it just makes it so unpredictable as to what tyre you can take. Somebody did say to me, 3 stops, softs and wet to the end. And to be honest, you know, folks, wet to the end seems a fair choice. Oh, we've gone wide, big time. You can't predict it. When you get a penalty going across the line, we do, but we're still finishing first place. Well, would it be right? Would it be the right thing to bang in a better crack at that? Well, there's the thing, folks. There we go, there's the finish. The SLS AMG is an extremely capable car, chaps. It really is. If you want to go at that race with that car, I'd recommend it. It's well worth it. It's really quick. You set some really good lap times, and it just consumes a bit of fuel. So with that being the case, let's just review where we are. I don't think we go anywhere. I don't think we do anything more. Ranking board, there we are. We're staying in third place behind the two guys. But I reckon that SLS AMG has a chance of getting that 38th lap. It really does. If we can run Inters earlier, that's something we can do. But with that, folks, just like to say thank you very much for watching the stream. Thank you very much for doing what you do, supporting, liking and subscribing. It's all appreciated, and I know plenty of messages from you with recommendations of car to use and races to do. If you have any suggestions or requests, please don't hesitate. Bang them in the comments. I'll pick them up and we'll do them. I know I've had a few this last couple of days, and we'll try and fulfill those wishes. But we'll see what comes before the next update. So all the best, folks. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.